Okay, welcome everybody. Here we are, Wasaga Beach, Bay Networking. Nice to be here. Nice to see all of you again this month. I've seen many of you through the month. People, it's nice to start becoming friends with people and seeing people at different times and events, and people are getting out finally again here in Wasaga Beach, and we're finally getting some beautiful summer weather. I would think it would be safe to call it that in the last few days. Went for a walk on the beach last couple of days. Just awesome, beautiful weather out there. So we're back here at the Beacon again this month for business networking. And just a couple of reminders. The format is we go around the table. Everyone takes a minute or two to introduce themselves, and we have a couple of longer presentations, approximately 5 minutes or so. So today we have Jackie Manicapelli. She's going to be doing a presentation talking about nutrition. And also we have Gail. Gail, what's your last name?
Alexis.
Gail Alexis is from the Sorting Sisters, is going to be talking about downsizing and things like that. And so that's the format. So as we go around, we're going to skip over Jackie and Gail, and we'll come back to them. We also have Dawn Claire on the line with us on Zoom. So we're going to go halfway around the table, and then we're going to come over to Dawn, so she doesn't have to wait to the very end. How's Norm? We don't see Norm. Is he out measuring lines and such today, Dawn?
Yes, he sure is. And we don't have internet at home either, so I'm at my mom's.
All right. Well, good of you to join us. So that's the plan. Okay, so let's start with Tanya. Welcome, Tanya. Tell us your full name. Tanya, well, I'll tell people your name. Tanya Graver. Welcome, a friend of Cindy's.
Yes.
And good to have you here. Tell us about yourself and your business, please.
Okay, so you've said my name for me, so that's that part. I own Imagine Jewelry and Gifts, which is a store here in Wasaga Beach. We are a jewelry store. We do watch batteries,
Networking?
as well as we do.
No, I just struck on this. I'm from the Max radio station. If anybody wants to do any radio act.
Well, you're welcome to join the meeting if you like. Have a seat. We're just in the middle of recording and a broadcast,
Okay,
so
I just
join
got-
us if you like.
Well, I may, I got a meeting with Guy here.
Okay, so
Thank you.
thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry,
Greco, anyway.
sorry for the interruption.
It's
Sorry.
okay.
And Tanya, sorry, can you start again, please?
Sure. I own a store called Imagine Jewelry and Gifts, and we do, we do jewelry. We do everything from fashion, stainless steel, tungsten, titanium, silver, stainless steel, gold, from low end all the way up to high end. We feature local artisans in our store, which is really important to me. And we try and keep everything within, within Canada, Ontario, so that we're not going outsourcing from other places. I also run the Hawk Stars in Wasaga Beach, and we are in the middle of branching out to do 2 more locations. Hawk Stars is a buy, sell, and trade store. It's actually in the plaza where Little Caesars is.
Oh, I know what you call.
Yep, and we're actually in the process of branching out. So our next store is in Penetang, and then after that, we'll be branching to Owen Sound.
Wow.
And Imagine Jewelry and Gifts is very central also, right?
It is very central, yeah.
On the main strip, like near where the McDonald's is? or-
Actually, a little back from where McDonald's is. Everybody seems to know where George and Family Circle Restaurant is. And I would say that at Kitty Corner across the road from them, which is a great location. It's also where Qualic Dental is. And we hope that everybody will stop by and have a visit. We try to have something for everybody. That's kind of the goal, whether it's, $1 fashion ring for a child to buy for their parent or a friend, right up to I can handle any length of or level of custom jewelry.
It's a very nice story. You should definitely check it out, people, for sure.
And anybody who has concerns about ticks and the medications for their dogs, she has these awesome collars in there. They're ceramic. infrared?
Yeah, ceramic infrared. So it's an all natural product and you have them on your dog. And then when you're going out for walks with your dog, it actually works within the body to actually repel fleas and ticks from the body. So they actually don't get stuck onto the body and you don't have to have any of the chemical medication for animals.
What do they run?
They run anywhere from 19.99 up to, depending on the size, say
I
$35.99.
just paid $3.50 for my, so that's a good deal.
Yeah,
Protect him from ticks, he protects me from ticks.
exactly.
Well, those dog medications that the vets give out, it almost killed one of our dogs.
Yes, very,
Can be very toxic. to
Yes.
dogs.
I was just about to ask you that.
Okay, very good, Tanya, thank you. Marlene Parkins, tell us about yourself.
The,
I know.
hang out. Well, we're here for the farmer's market, but the farmer's market will be opening June 21st. Anybody that has any local artisans or producers that they want to head our way. And David is looking after our entertainment. And that's about it.
That's
Nothing
it?
to report until it's happening, and then we can announce who's coming every week.
What's the start date?
June 21st.
Perfect. Is that a little late this year?
2 weeks late. Yeah, it's a little late, but we're also waiting on other issues.
Okay.
And we've shortened it a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
We've shortened it a little bit because it's tough on the producers.
Early
particularly
season.
The growers, right? Early June is hard, and I think it's been even more difficult this year.
Yes.
And
And our
also,
percentage, so a lot of people who do not know, to operate as a farmer's market, you have to have 51% farmers producers. So even though we have a lot of artisans, we can't always accept them or start that early, because if we don't have the farmers or producers on site, we can't have the artisans. Mhm.
That's every farmer's market.
Every farm, to go within their regulations, you can have a market and not, but then you're not a farmer's. We try and operate under farmer's market.
And it's going to be at the Recplex?
At the Recplex.
In the parking lot, so that's for
Yes.
sure. Okay. All right, well, we're looking forward to that. That'll be fun. Anything else happening, Marlene? You're usually busy with a lot of different things.
My head is too,
she's been up on.
I'm too, yeah, this morning I'm just having coffee. Here. Listen and
All right, well, good to have you. Thanks for coming.
thank you.
Ellen Timms,
That's me.
welcome.
I'm Ellen Timms. I'm a volunteer event coordinator for the farmers market.
And a much better speaker.
Not really. I'm also a member advocacy person with the Chamber of Commerce, the Wasaga Beach Chamber of Commerce. So my role is working with our members and creating opportunity for them, including things like the Business After Fives, which we hold on Thursdays. The next upcoming one, I don't think I should say next and upcoming together, but on May 26th at Boston Pizza from 5 till 6:30, or usually you find in restaurants, people linger longer.
Mhm.
Everyone's invited, so it's an opportunity for chamber members and guests to come out and reconnect after so long of not really being able to connect even in person. And we've had pretty good turnout in the last two. We also are, just to, add into what Marnie's saying, the chamber has taken a booth this year at the farmers market. And each week will be showcasing a business of the week. So our first business member is MMEA Meats, taking advantage of that opportunity. And Marlene and I are kind of excited about that. So that night will be a great time to come and actually have your dinner at the market. He's going to bring all kinds of good stuff to eat. And anybody who doesn't know that, it's a great sandwich shop, veal, chicken.
And you make it serenaded at the same
Yes,
time.
A singer.
Yeah.
So you got music and
Yeah.
there's gonna be a beer tent there too, right?
Not yet.
Not yet, we're working on that.
We may go to special events, but it's coming.
Okay.
But we will have music and
So lots to offer. That's amazing. Ellen, you've recently decided to run for council.
I
It's about that decision.
I jumped out of the gate pretty quickly on the second day that I could, waiting for the first day to make the call. I discovered later that I probably should have done that in advance. However, this month I'm really just sort of gathering and strategizing and waiting till the provincial election is over to really get out and start campaigning, David. Thank you for mentioning it, because I'm having a campaign launch party on Sunday at Wild Wings in the Stonebridge Town Center from 2 to 4. And everybody's welcome to come out. And again, you know, we're looking at it like an opportunity to network and mix and mingle. So if anybody's free, there's some good foods there. And if anybody hasn't been, and I hate to admit that I hadn't been to Wild Wing for quite a long time because it's COVID. New owner, bought it just before COVID, brilliant young guy. The place is lovely. It had been a long time since I'd been there. It's definitely had a beautiful reno. And, you know, check it out. Check it out. It's great. So if you can, check it out on Sunday, 2 to 4. Wild
That's
Wing.
coming up this Sunday.
This
Yes,
Sunday.
May 15th.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah, thank
Okay,
you.
good.
Thank you.
Glad to hear about that. Yeah, terrific. Okay,
That's my story.
so let's go over to Dawn now. Dawn's online here on Zoom. Dawn, tell us about yourself. Dawn's been with us from the very beginning. And since we started back in November. And so welcome, Dawn. Tell us about yourself and what do you do? And I think you've got some specials too, right? Some advertising packages as well.
I might. Okay, so my name's Dawn Claire. I sell advertising for Star Metroland Media, which is the Wasaga Stainer Sun and the Collingwood Connection. And we own about 80 other weekly newspapers. We have digital advertising. You can do newspaper advertising, magazines. Our Good Life magazine's pretty popular. It's been around for about 15 or more years. I do have a special to offer for the month of June. So it's 5 weeks in June. If you purchase 2 ads into any of our Simcoe markets, or 2 markets, so 2 ads or 2 markets, you get 1 free, or 4 ads, 4 markets, you get 2 ads free. That's for the month of June. Yeah, and that's about it for me. My husband Norm has Blue Mountain Design Center. He's a custom blinds and shutters company. He also does retractable screen doors, which is super popular right now. He's going crazy, actually. So yeah, all local.
And I'd sent you an email a couple of days ago that I was ready to proceed with something. There was a half-page deal that you had quoted before,
Yep.
page for 4 weeks. And then I think, so I'm ready to proceed with something, okay? So, so let's talk this afternoon, please. And I can either do it on my own for my business, or if anybody wants to come in, we could do something sort of under the umbrella of Bay Networking. And you can contribute something, and depending on the size of your contribution, then your ad will, we'll figure something out so that it's equitable, okay?
Sure.
And transparent. Okay, all right, very good.
Did you receive the examples I sent you?
I don't think I did. So maybe,
I responded right away with some examples of
all right,
an
So
ad, and
for those, but maybe if you have a chance this afternoon, please call me and we'll get that going. Okay,
Okay.
we've been talking about it for a while, so time to get it going. All right, very good. Thank you for that. Ron, we have Ron Skelly, HVAC. Ron, welcome. Tell us about yourself.
Sure, Ron Skelly, Blaze Mechanical. I'm just gonna share these with you. I had these made up the other day.
When we get to.
Vista print?
And then it's,
And what I find is we hand out about 100 a week. And so I'm going up to homes and putting it on their door. And last week I did 100 and it got to 2 leads, $10,000 and $5,000. So it took me about 2 hours to do 100 homes. And I'll pick certain areas that I think would be good for our products.
Yeah.
On one side I have furnaces, and the other side I have air conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
So these I would sort of make dominant for a 20-year-old home. Everyone seems to change their furnace every 20 years. And on the air conditioning side, it would be a new house. But perhaps doesn't have air conditioning yet. Or we have the ductless air conditioners that are really popular right now. So I think for me, it really helps me to meet people and gets me out there. And there's some kind of connection with the leads rather than just doing an ad in the newspaper, which works as well. But I find every time I do this, every week, I'll get 1, 2, or 3 leads from it.
Yeah, it's a good old fashioned approach. You get your stuff in.
And I use my bike, so I ride.
Full
a
of hard
bike.
knocks.
It gets an exercise. as well.
No, it's great.
And I got the Vistaprint and the quality is unbelievable. I couldn't-
Mhm.
We were looking for market cards and I went to another place, but I'm gonna check out this.
And the nice thing is
Yeah, I use
door
Vista.
hangers
I
use it.
always do Vista.
Where a flyer is
So
hard
reasonable.
sometimes to fix to the house. Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is really easy and
Or on the rail,
works great.
or the railing, anything. Yeah.
What is your area that you service? Are you strictly for Wasaga? or
Yeah, I
you-
try to just say a bit of Tiny and a bit of Ellenville, but
Okay,
mainly Wasaga Beach.
okay.
Yeah.
Would you consider Penetang?
Yes,
I think we need one. Would you consider Penetang? For Josh?
to do an install for sure,
Yeah, okay, perfect.
anywhere in Simcoe County.
All right, I just sent that off. Thank you.
Yeah, Ron helped me with install for a client of an air conditioner in Barrie.
Yeah, thanks for that. He's a great lead and yeah, appreciate that.
It's terrific.
Sorry
timing.
about this.
We're looking for ductless air conditioning.
Sure.
The store?
Yeah,
Penetang.
these are great.
It's perfect.
It's
timing.
really worked for me.
Also, I don't know if you say anything about your photography at all, but I guess it's a hobby and you post a lot of great photos of sunsets and different things.
Yeah, I just love the beach. That's why I
Yeah.
moved here. And so,
I always see your nice
well, thank you.
photos online.
Yeah, Facebook's been great. I've got over 150,000 likes and.
Wow.
If I could say, Ron, I went to Ron and asked him if he would give me some photography lessons and we started, but I'm a tough learner. for that. He's a wonderful teacher and I'm saying that out of turn because I don't think he really wants to. He's pretty busy with what he does, but very smart.
Oh, thank you. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for adding your pictures to the Wasaga Beach Ambassadors. I'm part of that group, so it's nice. We do have a Facebook group. It's called Wasaga Beach Ambassadors. And no political, no selling. It's all just share the best of Wasaga Beach so that.
I can't paint, there's all these.
No, I take them off. It's
And there's
just-
none on women of Wasaga either.
It's just share the best of Wasaga to let people in Wasaga know that it's out there, so please share yours as well.
Yeah.
It's just get a good feeling going, that Wasaga Beach is a place to
And I
be.
think that needs to
Wasaga
be
Beach
done
ambassadors.
too. Maybe I'll go through all the Wasaga groups. Which ones are left?
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's so many, right?
Yeah.
There's so many different ones. And, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, great. Ron, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Rob Hutchison, he's a realtor, a local realtor, has done a lot of work in Markville and Owen Sound and has been focusing, I think, more on local Saga market. Been with us from the beginning also since back in November, and we do some work together.
Yeah.
You know, he helped some of my clients find properties, and I've been helping some of his clients find mortgages. So Rob, welcome. Tell us about yourself.
I don't have anything else to say. I
That's
like to
it?
leave into- My middle name's Edward, there you go.
Come on. What else?
Realtor, what do I do? Yeah, I'm a realtor.
How's-
David C.
How's,
No, he just said.
how's the market? Is it getting softer now that rates are going up, or what's
Yeah, I think
happening?
there's just a little bit, like when they say softer, it seems to be the mad rush is over. Like there was a lot of urgency, a month or two ago, January, February, really crazy busy. But the way the trend has been, it's kind of leveled off. Don't really see prices drop right now, but there's just not the 20 offers, and some cases we're up against over 30 offers on our houses, so. That holding offers stuff is kind of leveled off a bit, so remains to be seen what happens. There's still, the underlying thing is there's still a shortage of things. So if there's a shortage, the prices are gonna drop. That's kind of the basic thing, so. But an exciting spring, I think.
but a little better for buyers.
Yeah, actually, no. it's-
If you don't have to compete
Very
with
optimistic.
30 different,
It's a level playing field now, and it's a lot easier for us to deal with, a lot easier for people to buy, and it's more sense that people can actually plan. Look forward.
Yeah.
So it's been for that.
okay, excellent. Okay, good, Rob. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next we have Kelly Kramer from Shine Creations. Welcome.
Oh, good, sir.
Tell us about yourself.
So I'm, Kelly from Shine Web Creations, and we say creations, we do, I'm a Wix partner, so we do Wix websites, I do social media. I also do, my husband does custom programming, so if there's something you can't do, he can pretty well program anything. He's actually working on a product that we're getting ready to launch. We tested it in the market, and it's a rental program. So if you rent skis, skidoos, anything like that, he's got a program that they'll customize your business. And that's under our Shine Creations as well. And then I do social media. One of my biggest clients right now is Collingwood Third Choice on High Street. And he's keeping me busy. And I love all that getting out and finding out the product and all this sort of stuff. So it's keeping me really busy. And then as well as I'm helping Ellen with her website for a counselor, and I've got another two that I'm talking to help them with their website as well. So hopefully we can get a good counsel, get some change in Sag Beach.
She's also the current president of the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
Taken.
So so 30 chamber for a little bit longer. We're co-founders, Marlene and Ellen and I, for the Beach Bite. So we do events during the year before COVID, and all the money goes to the food bank. And we do a food drive. We've had some events where we've raised up to $3,000 in a van full of food. So we're planning on some coming up. Marlene was just saying maybe we should get Christmas in July going again, and maybe we've talked to Marlwood about doing an actual beach party. So that might be in September when things slow down a little bit, and it'll be a band and all kinds of stuff. So that's sort of in the works, we're gonna work on. So we're
Sounds
busy.
exciting. Lots going on. All right, well, welcome.
Thank you.
Very nice to meet you. Next up, we have Jason George from Jason George Photography. I've seen your name online. And then I see that you're actually a real person, so good to have you with us. Welcome. Tell us about yourself.
My name is Jason. I'm a wildlife photographer. I do some weird stuff. I do some cool stuff. I have a room that has a bunch of different skulls and animal parts for like a presentation. When I host them for the library or school groups, I bring some of them to there. I go to markets like the Wasaga Beach Market or Creemore, Collingwood, all over. I take people on tours because some people, like, it's cool when I show you a picture of penguins or lions or whatever animal or moose, but some people want to actually see it for themselves, so I'll take them to go and see it. I also do quite a bit of charity work, so I started this charity. It's called Epic First, and I take special needs people to their first sporting event. So I took some people to their first Leaf game, and we apparently it's cool to high five the Leafs on their way out. So that's what we did. We went to the Raptors game. We ended up on the court at the end of the game because that's cool to do. Also, I'm currently working with somebody, and I can't say too much because they might know someone might know her because she's a little girl, but we're going to an Archos game and she's a cheerleader.
Oh,
We're just I know some cheerleaders and it's gonna be pretty epic. And the last time I did something with her, we did a fundraiser and we raised $8,100 in 36 hours.
wow.
To get this girl a feeding arm. It's not just me, it's my whole community and all the people that I know that help me to do some of these things. And some people donate tickets, some people donate other things. But I have some pretty cool experiences and I just try to share them with others. I've been to every continent except for Antarctica. And I've seen 70% of the animals you'd see in the zoo in the wild. And I go kayaking with the women's group in Wasaga. I'm not a woman, but they accept me because I'm a little bit silly and and I'm also in the process of building this walking stick because I'm a wildlife photographer. I think it's safety is important, so it actually will potentially have a hidden knife in it.
Which Ryan is following.
I know it's
So cool.
it's so I'm actually like people like I'm making the knife, so I'm actually like forging the metal and
Wow.
pressing it together. So it's a Damascus knife and it'll have some copper interlay, but it'll actually go into the walking stick. The walking stick is actually a monopod. It'll have decorations of all the cool things I've done, like painting for gold and the gold rush in Alaska area, bullpen dirt, some animal parts. It's just got like a thing that I can eventually protect myself or pin like a snake or all the like snakes. But it'll also have like a laser pointer in it. Like it's going to be great for what I do. I'm just really weird and odd and I like to have fun. And I was a teacher for 10 years and I retired from teaching. And yeah, I like to have fun and maybe have more fun than most people, but I make less money than most people, but that's okay. Life's not about money. I some days have enough money to pay my bills, but most days I just have fun and make the most of it. And if you like wildlife or animals, I have a whole bunch of cards if you want to grab one.
Okay, so isn't there a book in the works right now?
You've also had a presentation at a couple places.
Yeah, so I'm working on a kid's book for animals. Well, it's about animals. It's about me and my experiences with animals. So the first one we're working on is about Canada and it'll have 15 animals I like, but I'm also teaming up with a graphic artist and he's drawing things and it'll combine the things I believe in. So there's a 1, 2, 3 challenge where you have to do like 3 good things, seeing your animal and like some cool things. And like, it also helps you train your eyes so that you can experience more animals while you're out there. And there's also like Where's Waldo thing
Oh, perfect.
to kind of engage, but because he's a graphic artist, I show pictures of the actual animal and then like some people like to draw. So we're also appealing to those people and like we also just last night decided that we're gonna, because when I sell a photo card, I donate money to the World Wildlife Foundation and I adopt an animal for little children. Some I know, some I don't know. They're just on a list and I just slowly you're in the next group of purchases. But I'm actually going to be surprising the families and their kids are going to be in the book because the only thing I ask is in return for them getting this adopted animal and a card is that they send a picture that I'm allowed to share on social media. So I have permission and then I'm going to put them in the book and every kid who's in the book will get a free copy of the book.
That's amazing.
Because I believe it's all about like giving back and having fun. And you don't know if you have tomorrow, right? So let's make the most of the moment and bones wouldn't be in a book. So why not? No, it's a one of a kind thing. The guy who's making it, we've discussed, the concept could be redone, but the intricacy of this one will never be done. It takes us probably 5 hours every time we meet up, and I've met up with him probably 4 times, and I know he does stuff on his own to make it happen. But it'll be cool because I'm going to be walking around everywhere I go with this thing. I don't have to have the knife with it, just so you know.
Say, are you allowed to walk around with it if it hit the knife and it has?
So in the knife world, ladies, 6 inches isn't big.
Okay.
In other places, that's really huge. Fishing is what I'm talking about. Exactly. So, and actually have it, but it'll only be when I'm really going into the forest. It's not for like, or if I'm going to a presentation.
Like if you were carrying and walking to a bar, are you allowed to?
Yeah, so I can have, but I have one that I have a top board that doesn't have the knife, so I probably realistically won't have the knife with me most of the time. It's just the walking stick and it actually is like a showpiece.
Okay, that's awesome. I like your philosophy on life and obviously doing a lot of interesting things. Good, glad to have you here. Hope you'll continue to come back and share more stories and things with us. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you being here.
Like animals, I have a YouTube channel. That's
Yes.
pretty cool.
All right, awesome. Next up, we have Raphael. This is Raphael's second time back. He's into digital marketing. Is your company name The Umbrella Effect?
Correct.
And he's going to be presenting next week
Yep.
as well. So tell us about yourself,
Yep.
Raphael. Good to have you
Yeah,
back.
sure thing. So I'm the founder and owner of The Umbrella Effect. So it's a digital marketing agency really focused on the professional service industries and overall service industries. Reason behind it and why it's all like that is just because, well, they're the backbone of our communities. Without our mortgage agents and our realtors and our financial advisors and our accountants, et cetera, the communities we live and thrive in wouldn't be the same. They're the ones that support all the families around us. So that was the main reason behind it. Of starting into it. It's been operating for over a year now. Networking is back with COVID things. So when I saw this, I jumped in and wanted to get to know everyone throughout Wasaga, the various business owners, because I moved here just over a year ago. So yeah, and that's about it. Thanks.
All right. Good to have you guys. Sister, yeah. Feel free to pass around business cards and stuff. For sure. Okay, Raphael, we look forward to learning more next week. As well. Okay, so next up we have Cindy Jameson. Good to see you, Cindy. Also, Cindy's been here from the beginning. And Dawn comes here as well from time to time. They're regulars at our open mics. Studs Lonigan's Friday night, very supportive to the music that we're doing over there. So welcome, Cindy. Tell us about yourself.
Okay, my name is Cindy Jameson, and my husband and I do have a contracting business, basically focusing on small renovation, finished basements, that kind of thing. But we also do interior trim work. So that's the main focus. For many years, he's been in the business of building, but as you get older, some of it's hard on you. So you kind of take the other side. We do decks and stuff like that too. So that kind of is that side of it. But I also work for a trim company, so I can supply doors and trim materials as well as exterior doors and anything custom that anybody might be looking for. And the company I work for is Tofino Door and Trim. It's in Stouffville, but usually our prices can beat mostly everybody. So we're pretty competitive. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
What's the name of your renovation?
Jameson Contracting.
Jameson.
I have a card here.
Card.
Yeah, I have a card here. And that's pretty much it. I'll pass it down.
I'll take it, Cindy.
Yep.
I have to order a door.
Oh, do you? Okay. You know what? I think I have more in the car. One more?
Yes, please. Oh, did you?
If you have an extra.
Thank you.
You know what? I'll mark it on the back of this because it's hand in hand.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks
Thanks.
very much.
Okay, I'm gonna mark the other side of the company.
Next up, we have Jude St. Fleur. Jude's also been with us from the beginning, insurance and investments.
Yes.
He's also my neighbor. He lives 2 doors down. We met randomly on Facebook and then I found out he was my neighbor, something like that. So good to have you, Jude. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned, Jude St. Fleur, my background is military, so I've been in service for the past 13 years. So more importantly, right now, what I'm doing is as an investment and insurance broker. So anything that you could imagine under the sun, I do in terms of protection and planning, so financial planning. So if you're looking for estate planning, long-term care for individuals that need support from a nurse to come home, life insurance, critical illness, disability. So I could go on and on. So basically, that's what I do. And on the investment side, it's anything about retirement and also kids' education. So if you have grandkids that need to put a plan in place for the parents, by all means, that's something that I could help you with. I love referrals. You will see me a lot in the city because I'm part of the Rotary Club and the Wasaga Beach Chamber of Commerce. So I'm trying to be heavily active in the community. I love volunteering because back in the military, that's what I did. Most of my time, I teach kids to play football and
You mean like soccer, football?
no,
Football, like
Yeah, American football. Yeah, because I used to play as well back in high school and college. So, yeah. So basically, if you have anybody that looking in terms of planning, by all means, might have an open door, and also they might be something attached to it at the end of it as a gift or as a thank you card. So, more to follow. And also, one thing that one of the concept that I promote a lot for in terms of people that have corporation is through a corporation owned policy, like policy. Basically, what it means is any retained earnings that you may have sitting in your corporation that are heavily taxed, basically through we funnel that or channel it through the life corporate policy, which basically lower your tax bracket, and also that that income that is generated in there grow and blossom tax free. And basically, you could use that as a leverage or collateral to do big purchase or big investments. So you never touch the capital. It's essentially like a loan that you do to yourself. So essentially, you become your own banker. So that takes away the bank and go through the channel of that. But you have that, and you could pass it to your estate, basically tax free. So that's one of the strategy that I promote. So if any of you or people that you know that have corporation and might be looking into structuring that or a key person insurance, yeah, or even group benefits as well. That's something also that I do for like small business owners. So, yeah.
Hey, excellent. Jude St. Clair, very focused, hardworking guy. I can definitely tell you that. I've got to know him a little bit over the last little while. Okay, and we also have Sal Greco just popped in today, and everybody's welcome. So Sal, good to have you with us. Tell us about yourself. Take a minute or so,
It
please.
was nice to meet everyone. I have a meeting in Barrie that. I
All right,
unfortunately have to go.
you take care.
Morning, folks. Thanks for having me. I'm glad I struck on this because I certainly want to be happy to be part of it. My past experience, I've been in media and mentioned about council. 20 years in Collingwood Council, so I've been around, and I know about advertising and about business, and I was in retail, and I also do. My other job is merchandising for three companies that I go into blah box stores and Metro and Walmart and check different products, shop and stuff like that. So I'm certainly connected with the retail and business world. So anyways, I'm with my Max Radio as a sales rep for there. And Max Radio, as you know, covers the Georgian Bay area. It's a #1 station in the area. It's 50,000 watts. It's a strong signal right up till 1 o'clock in the morning. And radio is good advertising, and it's proven as one of not all, but one of the best for advertising your business. So I'd appreciate any business meeting you new people. The chairman here is going to keep me informed, and I'd be happy to come back again. I'm a past member of the Chamber of Commerce, so I'm always out hustling, looking for new business. Thanks for having cards here.
For sure. Yeah, very good. Okay, Sal, nice to meet you. Thanks for stopping in.
And you'll email me when.
Yep, we will add you to the list for sure. Okay, so I'll just tell you a little bit about myself now, and then we'll get to the longer presentation. So my name is David Grossman. I'm a mortgage broker and a dealing representative. So I don't really talk about my dealing representative hat very much. So I'll just tell you a little bit about that. As a dealing representative, I'm licensed to offer private investments. So private investments are an alternative to the stock market for people who want to earn a return on their money, and don't like the volatility that's associated with the stock market. So we would never suggest to somebody that they put all of their money into private investments because they are considered to be higher risk. I don't think that some of the choices I don't think they're higher risk. Like I really like the real estate income trusts. And these are basically apartment buildings that people can invest in. And usually will earn between 8 and 12% return. They're tax advantaged the way they're paid. It's considered a return on capital instead of interest income, which is preferred. And so that's something I do as a complement to my mortgage business. And as far as the mortgage business, I do a lot of alternative lending. I do land, I do construction, self-employed people often will have a challenge at the bank because, you know, if they have a very savvy accountant, and they want to be aggressive in terms of how they're treating their expenses, the lenders that we deal with, they just want to know that people can service the debt. They don't ask necessarily for tax returns. Okay, because tax returns are for taxes, not always an indication of whether or not you can afford to service the debt. So we have lenders that are a little bit more open-minded in that respect. People are not only buying properties, but they're also taking out equity to invest in a business or for different consolidate debt, whatever the case. So that's what I do. And I also, I'm a musician, and I do that for fun, the music, and that's how I keep sane. Playing Friday nights. We had Gail out on Friday night to sing some songs. She's also a singer.
Very talented.
Yeah, very. People enjoyed your music, and a lot of the people here have been out. Tanya, Rob, Cindy's been out. Jude's been out to our events on Friday at Studs, and soon I'm going to be coordinating the music at the farmers market. So if anybody wants to come out and sing, Gail, to that at the farmers market, let's talk. Yeah. So that's my story. And so now we have Jackie Manicatelli, who works with Sasha. Thank you very much. Works with Sasha DeRose in the nutrition business. So tell us about what you're doing. Do you want your
Yeah, okay, so I brought a little something so I could give everybody a little bit of a visual here.
Okay, here we are.
So I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Jackie and I'm not a nutritionist. I'm sort of the back end of this company that we put together. Sorry, I think this is right.
Sorry.
Thanks. Sasha and I met because I worked with the government, or still work with a government funded company, CCA, so that's the Center for Conscious Awareness Canada. And what my mandate was to find keynote speakers and then present them and get a webinar going. And we would invite pretty much everybody. It was a free service. And it was just to spread awareness on how to tackle, mental illness and aging.
Is that the same link that there were some groups that we went on that's through, like Sasha spoke on one, and there were
Yes,
other, that's the CC.
So that's how we met.
Perfect.
So I wanted a speaker to talk about nutrition and how it could be helpful in helping anybody with stress disorders or mental disorders or, aging or that sort of thing. And I called up Sasha, and Sasha delivered this presentation. And she is, for those of you who know her, Sasha's very passionate, and she delivered this presentation, and it just got everybody right there, So presentations usually, or the webinars usually lasted for an hour, and hers went to 2 hours because we had so many Q&As afterwards, and she was just such a hit. So after that, we kind of got to know each other, and I thought that it would be such a great thing to spread this because it really needs to be talked about. There's so much information. Some of it is actually life-changing, or, many people who need it. So what we kind of put together was something that we could go to different corporations and work with their wellness centers inside the corporations, and then hopefully get some lunch and learns going and helping people how to manage stress and sleep deprivation and some of the things that obviously we know we sit at desks for 8 hours a day, and it complicates your health in so many different ways. So Luckily, there are ways to at least deal with it, to make it a little bit easier. Sasha is not just a nutritionist. I mean, she knows so much about supplements and homeopathy and naturopathy and all these kinds of things. So we really want to get out there. So we are that nutritional healing and wellness group. And we offer one-on-one support within the organization. So we'll start here. So it generally will start with like an introductory 1 hour presentation where we go on site and Sasha kind of, delivers the whole thing. If you can see that.
Yep.
Then we have like follow-up programs so that they could be purchased in, sessions of 6 or 10. And the companies would basically just pick and choose what they want to speak about. And we will guide them because obviously depending on what the group is, suffering from, or maybe like they need more support on, we have so many topics that are already done in presentation form. So we can go back to the company. Then we have the one-on-one, so they can, choose to have some one-on-one time with Sasha where she guides them through nutrition. She takes a look at, the journals and eating and food combination and all these incredible things that really make a difference in terms of like how you feel the next day. Sometimes, an elimination diet will help and all sorts of great things that she can provide. What else do we do? She talks about supplements and really educates, in the supplement world, because I mean, I know we've probably all been to health food stores, right? So you walk in there and there's like 10 gazillion, different bottles of pills, which we know vitamin A, B, C, D, whatever, and probably not even know the effects of the actual vitamins and what they have, or how to read, how much of the vitamin is actually in the bottle. So Sasha will really educate on, this does this, and this is what you should be, or at least guide you into like some of the things that you can be taking for ailments and deal with naturally.
Or not be taking.
Or not be
Sasha's told me
taking.
lots of things I
Yes.
should have, that I've been recommended
Yes.
to take, and based on my eye
Absolutely.
issues, I shouldn't be using.
Exactly.
So she's-
And then there's a lot of them that don't work well together.
Exactly.
And some of them that you have to take in order to absorb others. So these are things that, I mean, she could educate on. She's also an expert in teas and, having teas to combat special ailments as well. So she's really very well rounded in all of that. What else do we have here? Then we have follow-up packages. We talk blood type and acidic testing. So this is something that we feel pretty strongly about. So a few years ago, Dr. Adamo came out with blood type testing and the foods we should be eating for our blood type. And it's actually a thing because we react differently.
Another question, is that the same as an Ayurvedic diet, AYUR, is that the same?
No,
I just wanted to know
you're
if there
talking
was-
about the Ayurvedic.
Yes,
the naturopathic,
Because that's
yeah.
also based on.
Yes, so they do it a little bit differently. It's very, very similar, but Dr. Adamo just went right
Okay.
like heads on into blood type testing. So if you're A, or O positive, or whatever, there's actually certain activities or foods that will work either for or against you.
And that is based a lot, isn't it, on your heritage, right?
Yes, some of
Right,
it
yeah.
is, yeah. and
Interesting.
He's got, I think about like 5 different books out and, scientifically, obviously it makes sense. It's not hearsay. It's all scientifically backed, but changing your diet so that it actually relates to the chemistry of your body is really important. They also do, we also do acidic and alkaline testing because when we're in acidic mode, it works against us. Alkaline is where we need to be so that we can, prevent different, sicknesses or illnesses that will come later. So we thought that was pretty important to kind of bring forward. Then we've come up with the drop it challenge, which is obviously like, it's just like a group thing, a little bit more interactive, and there's a little bit of support around, tracking weight and measurements, and then making that fun within the organizations, because I don't believe I've ever been to any organization where there's a bunch of people sitting at a desk who's not gonna say, oh man, I need to drop like a few pounds, either after holidays or in before. It's a common thing. And it's not necessarily like, taboo. It's just something to get you feeling great, because we all know we all feel much better when, we're feeling better ourselves, right? So. And then the part that I like most is the retreats. Yay. Yeah. So this is kind of like, we either come with you or we build it for you. Retreats are an amazing thing. Sometimes they're incentive trips and whatnot. And basically what we want to put out there is we're not there to like slap anybody's hands and say, no, you can't have this drink or whatever. You can party and have a great time. But wouldn't it be amazing to not come back after a trip feeling like you needed another trip, or like a truckload of detox in your driveway? Like that's kind of where we're at with that, right? So we have a presentation and we are there for support, for choosing, for helping you get through like those great nights and into like mornings, planning activities during the trip so they're not like I said, so that it keeps you kind of, in line with not coming home and needing another trip after that to recover, or a hospital bed, or the other. Yes, and I don't know about anybody, but I've been on many of those, and trust me, it's real. So, yeah, so those are some of the things that make us different. So we took all of this knowledge and built packages, and we are hoping to get out to corporate market. We're just launching now. Our website is now live, and we are Facebook and I guess Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube ready. I haven't launched those yet, but I'm not an expert like you. I'm just kind of doing this. And then my mandate obviously will be more like the sales part and getting us out there so that we can go and share all of this incredible information and get people just knowing, what's out there. And hopefully, I'm still working with CCA, and this is obviously something that I will be continuing to share, because there's a lot of things that help, people that are just going through like some really personal crises and stuff like that. And nutrition, we found, is just such a huge part of what to do to begin the process, right? Along with, like, there's so many natural remedies that, I mean, medicinally, yes, of course, that should always be a side of it, but nutrition wise, that it's a great start, and maybe like, lessen or easing the impact of all of the medications and whatnot, so that we can keep going forward, hopefully, right? So that's us, and I'm just gonna pass around some cards.
So do you have programs for like individuals too?
Yes, yes, she will take care of individuals as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, so one-on-ones, I mean, and she really is terrific. I think that when she presented with CCA, I think the thing that came back to me, as feedback from the entire group, as well as like everybody that was on the webinar that day, was like, oh man, they expect a nutritionist to basically go out there, very pretty, very soft-spoken, and then Sasha's like, oh no, she's got so much personality. Yeah, she really is. And you know what? But she's very, very dedicated and very passionate about everything that she puts on the table. So, and I mean that literally and obviously, and yeah, and it's no, exactly. Exactly. She really, really does. She's very adamant about health in every way, but in a way that's like friendly and just well received. So I thought, no, you need to be out there. Like this is something that needs to happen.
You've done a very good job
Great.
presenting, so that's really great. Make sure you pass around a business card.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
It was really great. Very well done. So next up, we have Gail Alexis from the Sporting Sisters. Gail's been coming out to the last few events, and we're excited to have her present as well. I'm going to bring up her website on the computer here as well. We'll share the screen. Gail, the floor is yours.
Fun, I made some cupcakes for everyone.
Yay.
And welcome, I'll take with
Taking about nutrition.
now.
Yeah, right.
Yay.
Ice the cake with some fruit. All right, so, thank you, David, for that introduction, and it was fun to come out and sing. So in my other life, a career, I was a professional performer, mainly stage, a little bit of television and film, but mainly stage, from entertaining the troops to Canada's Wonderland theme park way back when, and nightclub and a lot of musical theater as an equity and ACTRA member. So I do get creatively itchy, and I have that need to perform or at least plan a musical themed event. And that's what I'm very passionate about. So for many moons, I did also orchestrate, coordinate from trade shows, but a lot of entertainment galas and for the retirement community. So all of the big company umbrellas for their opening or their grand reopening or their New Year's Eve party. And so I would create themes from costumes to decor, obviously the music, roaring 20s, 50s, 60s, all of that. So I'm still very interested in doing that as a sideline, because again, that's just in me. It's in my DNA. And it's not just necessarily me singing and performing, but collaborating and organizing musicians and performers to do that. So I love all of that. So it'd be fun to be a part of the farmers market.
And I was just saying, for the other step too, for the beach bike, for our organization.
Yeah, just to put something together for you, and whether it's just a duo or I'm not a huge fan of someone singing to tracks. I always love the live musical piece. It was kind of a wing and a prayer at the pub that night, but I like to rehearse a little bit. So that was a little nerve-wracking, but it ended up being kind of fun because I connected with this gentleman, James, another guitar player. He's fired.
Oh, you did amazing. You did amazing.
It's a bit scary because the girl that was before me, and I do play a little bit of guitar, but she was very good. And real powerhouse, like Janis Joplin, Melissa Etheridge combo, so that was kind of like, and you don't know anybody. So I've lived here a year. I grew up and lived in Toronto. I'm living in Blue Mountain, Urbana. So for my business, the Sorting Sisters, I came up with the idea because I found that, or heard that there was a real need for it here. So I liaison as a director of community relations and essentially marketing and sales at the Millwood, a part of Lifetime's Living, for close to 7 years. It's the only real full-time job I've had. I've always been freelance. I'm used to reinventing myself, being a chameleon in more ways than one, and just being a survivor. So, I've handled the snake because I had to pay the bill as a musician, magician's assistant, or, cater, or, whatever it takes. So I am always willing to roll up my sleeves, and I was never a boss. I just wanted to be a team leader, and that, because I know with certain producers or certain gigs that I had, when you weren't really treated. I did do commentating for General Motors, Saturn Savazuzu, across Canada for 12 seasons. And then I got pregnant, and I just knew I didn't want to do the road life in the night anymore. So I managed the GM Visa card for close to 7 years as well across Canada. And I just hired all my actor, singer, performer friends. And it was a very good ride. It was the best gig I've ever had, as far as how I was treated, how I was empowered. When I was called to bring in the proposal, I had to call my sister, who's corporate, and my brother-in-law, and said, "What's a proposal?" And I had no clue. So little did I know, when I went into with all these bigwigs to hopefully get the gig, I already had, because they knew me for years. They trusted me. And so there I was, just booking hotels and planes and hiring all these CSRs, but also managing the incentives from fanny packs to water bottles to, how to secure those, and the literature, and then the
the carpet, the chairs, it's rent, rent, rent. He said, let's just buy it all, especially if it's local, because you're getting the wrong color or you're getting, anyway, it was a real learning curve for me with my baby in tow everywhere I went, and quite an adventure. So in working at the Millwood, I did a lot of community outreach with the hospitals, with real estate agents, with the libraries, with sponsorships. Okay, I'll sponsor your lunch at the curling club, and then I can do my dog and pony show and talk about the Millwood and say that we offer respite, guest stays, short-term convalescence, but also long-term permanent stays. Sadly, we had a lot of assisted living, and I dealt with a lot of dementia and Alzheimer's, so I got quite an education there, and truly the nurses and the PSWs are angels. And I was working there still through the height of COVID, and it was all hands on deck, and I was in the suits and experienced all of that, and had COVID myself, and you know, be there till 11 o'clock at night. It was just, I was considered an essential sort of worker. Yeah. So I really even ended up having more respect for all of these caregivers in these scary times. And so I feel like I paid it forward. I helped a lot of people, but a lot of the times with the families coming in and pouring out their heart, and there were a lot of tears because either the resident didn't want to come there, or the children were like, wow, you know, our mom's really ailing. And you got sometimes TMI, like way too much information, and then they would get latched on to me. And so it was pretty emotional, especially when people would get ill and die. And I lost my dad at 61, my mom barely 77. So they were pretty young. And it just is, when you do get attached to some of these folks, like extended family, I guess what I'm trying to say is I have a lot of compassion for seniors. I really enjoy supporting them. And so this is the Sorting Sisters, and I wanted to keep, because both my sisters also, that's their careers. They've worked in the industry, so they taught me a lot. My youngest sister was a reminiscence coordinator, before that a PSW, so I got that understanding. My sister, my middle sister, is VP of operations and marketing for one of the big umbrella companies. And she has a degree in geriatrics, but she's an operator. My mom always said, oh, here comes the operator. So she's almost like the elder sister, and but she's also taught me a lot about that end of it. So I worked with a number of downsizing companies to support these families who would say, oh, the stuff, we don't know what to do with the stuff. And I'd say, you're more important than the stuff. I've got someone who will help you. So you're not supposed to favor certain people, but this one lady, she had also been a nurse, and she just seemed to be more compassionate. And so my edge that I feel I have, because I think I've only got one or two competitors, is that I do have the background in working with seniors. I'm not just going to book the mover, pack, toss, keep, sell, and sit, you know, they're going to get kind of, they get attached to these things. And I'm a pack rat. I just moved after 28 years, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. And both my sisters are also minimalists. But it is easier to sort other people's stuff, but you still have to be sensitive about it. So, okay, you've got 100 Royal Doltons. I'm not going to say get rid of them all. Just choose, let's choose together, like be a companion to them too, and ease their mind. Let's choose your favorite 12. And let's take a part of your home here that you've been in this farmhouse for 55 years. That was sort of a typical, oh, I've been there 50 years. I don't want, you know, and they've recently lost their spouse, and they're just going through a lot. So I like to think of it as compassionate downsizing. So we'll help you orchestrate and stage, and also transition you. I can also support them, because I just did this with my mother-in-law last September from North York. Yeah, soup to nuts, like book the mover, but also take you around and tour the places. So sort of see, oh, you like the more bed and breakfast vibe? Well, maybe that's the Raglan. Okay, you want more resort style, like you're on a cruise ship, or more to do, you're maybe more independent, you like the swimming pool, the pool, then that would be Balmoral. Or Georgian Traditions, where my mother-in-law is. It's sort of somewhere in between that, but they also have assisted living.
I've performed there 4 times, just doing various, again, themes and singing and sax player, guitar player, keyboard player. So it's been fun doing musical events.
My daughter recognized you from singing at Chartwell. That's what she said. I think she sings at Chartwell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I bring out all the bling from the tickle trunk and get it going on, and it just gives me a lift, but gives them a lift. More importantly, it makes their day and inspires them, especially these days when there's been a lack of that interaction and entertainment. Unfortunately, I didn't have to wear a mask, but I couldn't work the room. And I'm not so much a singer as I am an entertainer and a performer, and I want to know that I've touched someone, and made their day. So that was a feel good. And I'm also doing Gail's jewelry box because I just have so much stuff and vintage, and my aunt was quite a diva. So anyway, so that's just been kind of fun to, make it cheap and cheerful for them. So I'm doing that in a few places locally, again, just to get out and interact with them. So local and community outreach. So I liaison with Blue Mountain Tea Company, and I'm starting small, but if I were to go to a hospital to meet the social worker discharge planners to say, because it may be, oh, mom's had the 4th fall, she just can't go home again. And we're in Toronto, or we don't have the time, then that's where I would step in. And so Chartwell Georgian Traditions and a number of the other retirement communities, they're using this as an insert because it will become about the stuff instead about the care. And they'll say, well, we have Gail from the Swearing Sisters. She'll give you a complimentary consultation, and then I will go and see what they've got. It could just, and I will suit their budget. I'm not out to gouge anyone, and I'm just hoping that grapevine and those referrals and that community vibe, from Tiny to Thornberry, I'll go as far as Barrie. That's about it. So it's going to be a slow go, baby steps, because it's been a very long winter and people weren't really thinking about moving, especially seniors. And now spring is here, yay, and getting out of COVID. So that kind of thing. So I just want to give everybody a little tease. So she's giving me 40% off. It's like I scratch her back, she'll scratch my back. And so I just hope when people are having their tea, they'll say, hey, you know what? And that maybe they'll use this as well as a bookmark, because sometimes something bigger or smaller may get tucked away. And I am catering and gearing it to seniors, but I'm willing to help obviously younger folks. Someone's maybe going through a divorce, or they've lost their spouse, or they're downsizing to transition from a big house for whatever reason. They need to be on the main floor or what have you.
Dean Esther's, who's not so bad.
Yeah, that too.
Cooperate with realtors.
Well, that's my next question. We did touch on that the first time I was here. A few times ago. Well, yeah, because it often falls on the realtor that
The house doesn't.
yeah, it's not going to present, and there's staging, but there's also just the clutter.
There's so much stuff.
Like clear the clutter, clear the mind,
Hmm.
That's why we walk the beach or what have you.
Question,
Yes.
Tanya?
I just, actually not a question, it's a statement. I would like to have some of your cards in both of my locations. I have elderlies that come in, just lost their wife. I've had that quite a bit, unfortunately. And they don't know what to do with their stuff. Usually they come in with their jewelry. Is this real? Is it not real? I don't know what to do with it.
Right.
And then at our other store at the Hot Stars, it's same thing. You've got the lady whose husband has passed away. They've got all these tools. They don't know what to do with them. And so I work with them, and my staff work with them to be able to help them, direct them over where they could sell items, like at
Yeah.
Hot Stars, or I go through all the jewelry
Marketplace,
and
yeah.
sort everything for them.
Yeah.
So it would be good to have them at both of our locations, because
wonderful.
I get a lot of them come in.
Okay, fantastic.
There's so
Yeah,
many
it's just
in
a
that
community
mind space,
awareness
too.
thing.
Exactly.
And I will offer referrals to folks. I mean, it's just who I am. If it's a small gig, then I would give them a gift card. If it's something, we would figure something out. I don't expect something for nothing. Then we are here to support each other, but I would just do it as a token of my appreciation.
And
So-
sometimes, Gail, just if Tanya sends someone who, is so grateful, that's a gift too. Right?
Absolutely.
They remember her because
Right.
of you.
And I like to
Right. Oh,
treat
no,
them with,
absolutely.
with empathy and compassion,
Yes,
because
yeah.
I have worked at Chartwell and I've worked on both sides, you know, sorry, the regular living as well as the dementia and Alzheimer's. My daughter still works there. I'm very familiar with what that process is like and how hard it is for them. So I mean, anyone that comes into our stores, I deal with them with empathy and compassion. It's very, very important. because
Yeah.
of what they're going through.
And taking time.
Yeah.
Taking time,
Short
because it,
Sharon Loomis, she just passed away last year, Dave Lewis's
Yeah.
wife, yeah. Good friends of ours, we do dinner every week.
So,
That's what Sharon.
the vice president of the Fairview Chamber is Rebecca Vaughn, and she's the operator
Yes.
for Comfort Care.
Everything went
Yeah,
So
really,
she's
yeah.
the same, have
We do
you
dinner.
reached out? to
I
her?
reached out to Comfort Care in Collingwood.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's,
I
she
know
lives
some
at a
of
berry,
my
but she
cards,
lives
and
in
I saw you
Stainer, so.
No, I don't want.
You could Rebecca Vaughn. Yeah, because she's the same thing, like she goes
Right.
in and she tends to get, she has to get the PSWs in the house and all that,
Right.
and how to downsize and deal with the family, so I
Right.
think you would be a good connection for her.
Yeah,
as well.
well, again, we could scratch each other's back and support each other,
Yeah.
because I can recommend Comfort Care.
Yeah.
And they can say, well, okay, now they are gonna maybe go to LTC, long-term care, sorry, or a retirement community. Or, you know, they just need to start sorting through this stuff.
Yeah.
So I just thought, a lot of the names in Toronto were Elder Care Canada, Elder Care Transitions.
Yeah.
Downsizing Diva, which I thought was fun with the boas. I thought, oh, that kind of lends itself to me, but then I went, no, not in this capacity, because I don't think of it as comical. I don't want to take it like, oh, so serious. But and also, yeah, I just wanted to do my own thing. I didn't really, at the end of the day, their motto, which is fine for them, didn't really work for me, because I'm not gonna walk in and wear a purple boa, and that's the show. That's not, you know, this is a very sensitive topic, so. I thought, no, I'm not gonna do a franchise with them, and it was also very costly. I thought I need to find my own landlines, find my own way. And make it my own, and that's just sort of who I am. So my sisters will actually help me. My middle sister is retiring and moving an hour from me, so she won't be in Oakville where I was the last 3 days, for a wonderful family time to say goodbye to their house and also do a lot of packing. We had a celebration of life for my sister's father-in-law. He died almost 2 years ago in Brantford, so there's a lot of dragging going on. And I did 6 collages, because that's just, my sister's like, I know you're gonna rock this, because I love anything creative, and that was sort of my contribution. You know, my brother did the music, that kind of thing. So it was great to help her and do a lot. My other sister came, we did a lot of packing, drank some wine. On more packing. Yeah, so it was a good time. I was there for 3 nights. I got back last night and I was like, oh yeah. And I had wanted to do some sort of board. Anyway, another time, but I
Okay,
made the
Kyle,
cupcakes.
that's a great
So
presentation.
that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for
And I'll
making
pass around the
cupcakes
tea and the
too.
cupcakes, and thank you for
And the
having
tea,
me.
that was.
Thank you.
So that brings our meeting to a close. There's just one thing, one housekeeping thing I just want to remind people of a rule that we made at the beginning. And that is that anybody can come at least once. And if there's a conflict with somebody else, we try and figure out a way to resolve it, to see, because maybe there's a way that, you know, people who are in similar business, one person, as far as the announcements goes, can address one area of a business and the other, another area. We are, if there's still a conflict that cannot be resolved, we are, I'm looking at starting another chapter, which will run on the east side. I don't care where you live, but because we've already had a couple of people who've attended previous meetings, and there were such conflicts. So we encourage people to try and figure out a way to work together. But if there is a conflict and somebody's been in first and is invested in building the relationships and everything, we want to try and respect that. So that's it for today. And thanks everybody for coming. It's really great to see everybody. And we'll hope to see you all again next month and before. Okay.
So I have Earl Grey, cream Earl Grey, and mint bliss.
I like tea.